Welcome back to the KMPH Fox26 News Town Hall. The subject, gangs and gang violence. Now, we have an almost full house here at the chapel at People's Church tonight, but we know many of you are also following this streaming live on our website, kmph.com, and also on our sister station, Central Valley CW59. We want to let you know that we invite you to send in your questions via Facebook or on Twitter with the hashtag RiseUpFresno. We'll be monitoring those sources, and we will use some of those questions and comments if you can do that for us. KMPH Fox26 reporter Liz Gonzalez is following that right now. Liz, what are you finding?
Well, Monty, we issued the call to our viewers for the last week to let us know what you're thinking about this gang violence in the city of Fresno and the surrounding communities. We asked you for your comments or any questions. Let's take a look at what some of you are telling us tonight. For example, we've gotten a lot of comments on Facebook. This is one of them. We got this one saying, I'm an ex-gang member and I don't think people are thinking clearly. If your 7 to 12-year-old is not given enough opportunity, he or she will either be involved in some type of serious criminal activity. Don't forget to explain gangs to your children, because if someone else does, they may glorify them to your child. That's a comment that we got from Alex Alvarado via Facebook. And we also received some tweets that we've been getting in tonight. We got this one from Mike a couple of minutes ago saying, hoping the people of Fresno rise up against crime. This was such a great area growing up, but it seems to be falling apart. Again, you'll see that we've got the hashtag RiseUpFresno. That's what we're asking people to send us tonight so we can find your tweets. We also got another tweet that we received tonight again. This one's from Moses Esparza. He sent it directly to my account, but he says, you can treat someone like an animal, they will act like an animal. People make mistakes like you and I to show that they matter. Again, these we're pulling directly from our Twitter account, so if you happen to spot some misspellings or some grammatical errors, again, that is the way that they have been sent to us. But we're monitoring both Facebook and Twitter for your comments. One more from JFlow76 saying, beef up the gang task unit. So again, we're checking both of those. Use the hashtag RiseUpFresno or just go over to the KMPH Fox26 News Facebook page, and we'll be checking some more of those comments tonight. Back to you, Monty.
All right, Liz, we'll check back with you again in a few minutes. Continuing now with our audience here and their questions. Please state your name, sir, and your affiliation.
My name is Tom Hadami. I'm from Fresno, California. I'm a wrestling coach at McLean Assistant Wrestling Close, and I just signed a contract with Mayfair Elementary. Let me tell you, people, the kids are hungry. We got to get the kids when they're this small. If they want to be a gang, come join the wrestling team, basketball team. Parents at home, get this. And it's like, well, I want to be a part of something. Well, what do you want to be a part of? A gang. I know a gang over here. I says, why don't you come out for the wrestling team? And you know what? You don't have to go to jail for pinning somebody on the mat.
IFB is cutting out.
And our youth group, we have a youth group at church, and my wife and I, Terry Hadamil, we're in charge of the youth group. And we see these kids coming, and they're like, they want something spiritually. They want God in their lives. And I think parents, you don't have to be all religious or anything, but have faith in something. Why not have it in the Lord? If we're going to teach our kids something, don't teach them when they're 15 years old and say, why me? Get them when they're small and say, why not me? And that's why I'm up here. My wife says, don't come up here, but I says, I'm going to be Tommy J, and I'm going to come up here. God help me. So everyone, thank you. You're doing a great job. Thank you, Mom.
Yes.
You know, I believe that none of us can do this by ourselves. Preachers have to preach, teachers have to teach, and parents have to parent. And we have to be able to work very hard together at making that happen. There's nothing more heartbreaking than a law enforcement officer get a call to a house, and that parent has the 15 or 16-year-old and says, looks at us and say, now fix them. It's too late. It's too late, or we have minimal opportunities to make a difference. We're going to use all the opportunities that we have, our faith-based group, our community-based organizations, but it does start when people are small, and everybody has to uphold their own responsibility when it comes to raising our kids.
You know, Monty, you've heard it many times. Gang members are not born. Criminals are not born. They evolve. And generally they evolve because of bad influences in their life. And what we see in our community is a lot of fatherless homes. And I really believe that when you have a father in the home, and that father in the home is either Christ-centered or has some type of a faith, then they raise those children with the character that they need to avoid the criminal lifestyle and gangs. But unfortunately, as I said, we have a lot of fatherless homes, which is really where the church comes in, where the schools come into play, where mentors come into play. There's so many people that we have that are in this audience today that we partner on a daily basis to address many of our gang members. And I just want to say thank you, really, to all the people that are here for what you do for our youth, not only our youngsters, but also those that are dropping out of gangs, the intervention activity that we see in our community. And keep doing what you're doing, because you are making a difference. And I mean that. Thank you.
Now, following along that idea, which Sheriff Mims, Chief Dyer, you both point to as effective, that teach them when they're young, teach them as they're children. I'm going to ask all of the audience here to think about, from your experience as well, is there some other way, some other idea how we can encourage those lessons in the youth? Encourage and support parents in teaching that lesson. And if you have something to remark about that, please come forward and speak to Mr. Turpin here, who'll bring you forward. Please, your name and affiliation.
My name is Leisha Clark, and I'm the director of People's School of Creative Arts and the president of Inspire One. And our mission is to use creative arts, educate children in creative arts, while building socioeconomic and cross-cultural bridges. And I also am a director of a homeschool choir that sings every year at the Peace Officers Memorial, and also children in the city of Biola. I one year just went out there with a backpack of cheese sticks and my violin and said, okay, what can I do to make a difference in a community where many of the children are alone during the summer, their parents are in the fields. And ended up being a program that I've been doing for 7 years now. And there's one school in the city of Biola, and so all the children from that city go to that one elementary school. So I teach violin and string instruments to them, and I feel like I know that there are the children of warring gangs that are in that program, and I feel like it's going to be harder when they are challenged to assault each other when they've worked together and become a team at a young age.
Good point. Is our participatory programs like that one of the answers we're looking for? Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, no doubt, it requires us to keep our youth engaged in something positive. What we find, people that are in gangs aren't stupid. They're very intelligent. They have creative minds. They're so creative that they're able to get away with crime in some respects, but not for long. But they are very creative, and we need to channel those energies in the right direction, whether it's arts or any other, teaching them how to be a mechanic, utilizing their skills.
Boxing.
Whatever it is, we have a very effective martial arts and boxing program in our Police Activities League. Several hundred kids that are involved in that, all from distressed neighborhoods.
Please, sir, your name and affiliation.
I'm Rick Chavez, Chief Probation Officer of Fresno County, and first I'd like to thank all of you up here today and all of you in the audience that are here, because this is a very insurmountable issue unless we all come together as a community, as leaders within our community to deal with it. I can tell you in the probation department, when we talk about gang members, we have 10,000 felons under supervision, and about at least 30% of those are validated gang members. On the juvenile side of the house, we have about 1,300 juveniles that we're responsible for, and about 400 of those young folks are gang members. But I am a firm believer that we have to start young, we have to start early, and to that end, we are redeploying some of our campus police probation team officers to corresponding elementary school campuses to begin working with at-risk youth in the 3rd and 4th grade. And as I've told the officers, because this is a big sort of a paradigm shift, we used to do this many years ago, but we haven't done it in quite a while. We're used to doing more enforcing orders of the court and being out there and doing those types of activities. I told these officers, really what you're responsible for is to try to make positive change, whether they're a juvenile or adult, or especially in a young person who hasn't entered the system yet. And how great would it be if you're one of the role models that young person can point to later on in life, where it helped them make a decision that kept them from going down that path of gangs. But as we get out there, and kudos to Mike Hansen at Fresno Unified, because he's been step in step with me on trying to do this, and it's hopeful that, like I said, 5 years from now, we won't have another Janessa because of some young man who's reached that age who made a decision not to go down that wrong path. But that's my vision to how we want to work together, and I can tell everyone here that the Fresno County Probation Department will stand side by side with you on any intervention we want to try, because the door's wide open and now's the time to go. Thank you very much.
You know, one of your first questions, Monty, was, you know, what can we do? And one of the things that we ask the community continuously is work with us, be active, and don't wait until something bad happens in your community. Be active consistently with working with us, because that's what we hear. When something happens, then everybody wants to get involved. The time to really start trying to keep things from happening is day to day. Neighborhood watch programs, getting involved, keeping your eyes open for things that are happening, and working cooperative with law enforcement. You know, the best crime that we work with is the crime we prevent, when there's no victims, and that's what we all want.
One thing I've learned, Monty, is that you know, just being out there, reaching out to these individuals and approaching them, asking, what is it going to take for you to get off the street? What is it going to take for you to change? And a lot of them say, job. Give me a job. I said, well, I can't do that, but you can go to school. I've done it. You know, after doing 11 and a half years, I get out, bought my own home, and got my bachelor's degree in psychology. I did it by myself because I was determined to do that. You know what I mean? So that's my message to them. That's my message to them. Now, again, what this gentleman said about the wrestling coach is very unique, what he said. And that's key, is that they need some attention. Either that's from home or from school. We met a lady today at Fort Miller named Stanley. Real good person. People respect her. Why? Because she took the time to communicate, to build a relationship with these kids. So when they see her, they respect her. When she asked them to do something, they did it, no problem. They didn't argue, but you can hear teachers like trying to control their class. When she steps in, quiet. She took the time to build a relationship with these kids. And that's what we need to do. Yeah, that's what parents need to do.
We should have her here tonight, and if not, get her come back. Pastor Lewis?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I think the real key to resolving the issues of violence in our city starts with our families, and I think that we have literally just eroded some of the programs that help some of our families be successful in our city and in our community. I remember when we had summer youth programs, and kids could look forward to working in the summer and actually earning some money. And so those programs, we need to find a way to restore those kind of programs. We need to find a way to restore our recreation centers and recreation in our communities, so the children really have programs right in their neighborhoods that they can go and be a part of.
Pastor Lewis, please hold that thought. We'll come back to that right after this break. We'll be back in a moment.